Hey, it's Chris Lord-Alge. I'm here in my studio, Mix LA, and we're gonna answer the question, does CLA know how to mix hip hop? Most of you don't know, I started out working at Sugarhill Records. The rap records we made back then were a live band and vocals on top. I started doing that way before big drums, big guitars, gated reverbs, and all that. Being a rock and roll guy, I was infusing a bit of that energy into the rap world. It was still the beat, it was a groove, it was funky, it had a riff, and it told a story. So yes, Chris does hip hop. Today, I'm gonna take a modern hip hop / rap track, and let's see what Chris does with it. You know how I mix a rock track, how I mix a pop, a country track, whatever, right? But it's the same way it's put together, organized, outputted. I've gotten a session, I've looked at it, but I've not even really heard it. The song is called I'm Only Human. So I will show you exactly what came to me and where it's gonna go and how it's gonna end up here, okay? So I go through and I rename everything my way. VV, vocal verse, vocal double. It's all shortcuts, okay? And I always lay it out the same. It's always vocals, instruments, drums, bass, sound effects. If we're sitting here and just mixing in the box, right, then this will all be out bus 1 and 2. I'll have a master fader. I'll have the CLA mix down on there. I'll start right there. But since we're sitting in front of my console, I'm gonna do it exactly how I would use the console, okay? With any session that I mix, I make sure I have 4 bars in front. I put that in. This is just basic things, and I will clean up my view a little bit, get rid of time code, samples. I don't need to see any of that. Less is better. And once I have this set up this way, I will start adding some plugins. I know what I like, and that's what I start with. This is the vocal chains. I need some EQ before my compressor. I'm starting out with the CLA mix hub. That's my EQ. And then, of course, I'm gonna go into my Bluey. Because it's a slow attack compressor, there's gonna be some popping and spitting, so the L1 kind of shaves the top of that off. Wow, Chris, you use all the new plugins, don't you? Hey, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then I will have a de-esser, okay? They're not set yet. They're kind of on some defaults, but I'll season to taste here, okay? On the instruments themselves, okay, I will just have the EQ. Even though I have a console full of EQ, I can have it so I can bake some EQ in before it even hits the console, all right? Or just use this EQ. You don't have to make it complicated. You just have to make it sound good. And that's the secret. Now, the most important thing, funny enough, in any hip hop, R&B is the beat. And it's also the bass, which is super important on these things. One of the mistakes most people make is they just start piling plugins on stuff before they even know what the music is. Now, I'll do that to the vocals because I need to have the dynamic control no matter what. I'll listen through the track a bit more and see what I have to do EQ-wise to make it better. So let me play that, and I'll do this instrumentally. And I can just go right up here and use some EQ that we have here and see what we can do. Oh, there's that race car. You know, they like that hard-hitting mid-range. Let's see what the snare drum can do. And even the clap, like, what does that sound like? Oh, okay. Okay, old 808 clap. Do they even use reverb back then, right? And it always has that hi-hat that only birds can hear. That 808 hi-hat. Oh, there's that one-time beat. It's funny, most of the hip-hop things I hear or rap things, the kick drum is like boxy and hard sounding, but hey, that's for the kids, right? That's what we do for them. Now, the first thing that comes to my mind on this, there might be a way to make some more dynamic, right? because the beat's continuous through the whole record, it just goes from verse to chorus to verse to chorus. And it's like, okay, I'm bored, right? What can we take in? What can we take out? What can make a stop or whatever, right? So we'll think about that as I'm listening. I want to have the scene changes. To me, more important thing is the arrangement. And if I can make it ebb and flow a bit, it'll make it more interesting, right? This is the difference between being a creator and just being like a street sweeper, right? And I have nothing against either of those situations, but if you're gonna work on some music and you hear something in your head, an arrangement or an idea that's gonna make it better, just do it. They can always make you put it back, but they'll never know what you hear until you try it. So that's what I'm gonna do here.
I'm trying to get by, believing these lies, and I can see all of my flaws in both of your eyes. And once you start to recognize that it's just a disguise, I'm trying to get by, believing these lies, and I can see all of my flaws in both of your eyes. And once you,
since we have a moment, let's just put a reverse here leading into the spot.
maybe you won't feel so alone.
All right, let's get rid of that extra thing there. Don't need that. Open hi-hat. Let's see if we get those out of there.
I'm trying to get by, believing these lies, and I can see all of my flaws in both of your eyes. And once you start to recognize that it's just a disguise,
Maybe just put the clap in only. See if that makes a difference.
I'm trying to get by, believing these lies, and I can see all of my flaws in both of your eyes. And once you start to,
Let's put a clap in the hole here. It's like seems naked.
I'm trying to get by, believing these lies, and I can see all of my flaws in both of your eyes. And once you start to recognize that it's just a disguise, maybe you won't feel so alone.
I think part of the thing that makes this kind of record, you want to call it rap, you want to call it hip hop, R&B, each one requires a different set of tools in your head or an idea of arrangement. Arrangement is what makes it interesting. So rather than just throw up the faders, make it good the way he brought it, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to thin it out. I'm going to make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm just putting some stops, some changes so the sections come in with a little bit more excitement. Too much before this guy out too. It's like, why, you're taking all my stuff out? Well, you know, you don't need it. The verse is where you have to have it, you know, like thin and open and cool. So
I miss the times when love was like a silhouette, and now it's just a shadow of a dream I haven't finished yet. I'm only human. It's hard to rest. I give it all I got, and every time I never offer less.
try me here.
Give it all I got, and every time I never offer less.
Now, same problem here, right? Right before the chorus, it's too busy. So let's see if that helps here.
Don't try to kill my vibe, I'ma let it be. Said I'ma plant my seeds and we gon' grow like trees.
And you have this bridge. Okay, well, let's make the interlude different so it's not just a continuation. See what else we can do to make this section go somewhere. And the bridge, okay, here's our section. We'll take that. We're gonna need this guy to help make the transition more interesting. All right, that's leading right into the chorus. What happens to put him here? And then there's a reverse, something else we could put in. You know, don't be afraid to be creative on something. That's how you get a fan. That's how people want to hire you again, okay? Let's see if an octave down works on this track. And just to make it a little more interesting so it feels like it's bookending, let's put a reverse leading right to the stop at the end, right? Which is this guy.
Once you start to recognize it, you won't feel so alone. I'm only human.
So now that I have my arrangement locked in, we'll look at some fine tuning on some of the plugins.
I'm only human, not here to demand victory. Acting out again, ego staring me to misery. I miss the days when low-key you were missing me. I might as well go back to when I was just a missing piece. It's fine, I'm painting out these visions, see, executing plans.
A little more clarity on him. Let's just see.
I'm only human, I really need to shift my means, but I can't stop buying all these pointless things to feed my self-esteem. I'm only human, every scar is like a testament. Still trying to find the peace and they don't understand the message yet. I miss the times when love was like a silhouette, and now it's just a shadow of a dream I haven't finished yet. It's all good, I learned to live with no regret, and even when I'm broken inside, I pay my life the full respect. Don't try to kill my vibe.
These only happened once, so let's make them
plant my seeds and we gon' grow like trees.
Let's give them filter here.
A place that we know, where the grass is never green because the sun never shows.
All right, give him a little more life. How about the race car? Where's he doing? Well, let's make him zoom a little bit more. Yeah, a few more things we put on top to add a little more sauce, a little more excitement to it. And we'll listen back to it again here.
And we gon' grow like trees. Down we go, a place that we know, where the grass is never green because the sun never shows. Everybody walks around, always mad and so cold. Once you start to recognize it, you won't feel so alone. I'm only human.
So it's not just mixing, because think about it. You have all these like passes of parts. I think there's got to be more thought put into the arrangement of these records. And it just comes from growing up in it and growing up and knowing how it evolved and how it became something that, let's just be honest, rap is really just telling stories of the street. So it became that word. So it's real storytelling with a landscape, right? So make sure the landscape under the story enhances the big picture, right? If you just let it be linear, it's so boring. But if you put some rises and falls in there, it puts more of a bullet point on the story. Mixing is balancing, and after years, you know what to do, what not to do, right? Something put together like this, it's put together well. It doesn't require a ton of surgery. A rock record, for example, I mean, you have to dig in more because you're putting more energy into a smaller space. You have to carve things out and clean things up. Here, if anything, you're making more space. You want to make it so it's got all this air around it. That's what we're doing here. And CLA mixing a rap record, now you're going to learn well, it's not just mixing, it's like making it do something that I like. So then the next thing we do is print it and send it out and see if the artist likes it and hope they like my arrangement. And I think that's how you live these dreams, is to try what you feel works and see how the listener or the musician digs it. Because I'm mixing as a listener, and that's always how I do it. So right here from Mix LA, It's Only Human, mixed by CLA, Old G, Mr. Hip Hop himself from the Sugarhill Gang, CLA.